Today we are gonna backtest 100 trades on a 1 minute chart with a new scalping strategy. I'm really hyped to see the results of this one. It should be really good according to another YouTuber. The YouTuber Trading Nerd said that he had a 68% and a 101% gain on account on this strategy, so let's find out. So first off, let's add the indicators to the chart. To have all these indicators, you're gonna need the EMA. If you look for EMA, it's the moving average exponential, which we always use. You want the ATR bands for your stop loss. You can use whatever one you like, but I think I used a top one of the third floor, the creator. And you need to have premium for this one, but it's an advanced RSI. And if you don't know how it works, it's quite simple. I always just go to the documentation of it, and he just explains that it avoids noise of the RSI, so it's really great for scalping. But you have a buy signal when it crosses above the 20 line, and it has a sell signal when you cross below the 80 line. And when it runs flat, it means you have an uptrend strong above the 80. And when it runs flat underneath the 20 level, it means that you have a strong downtrend. So as you can see here in the example, or this is just a live chart, but you can see it, there's a flat line above the 80 line, and you can see that there is a really nice upwards uptrend. So yeah, that's basically how this indicator works. And the other two, I guess you already know how it works, but it's really simple how we use it. We want the EMA to be on the 50. I always make it blue and a bit thicker, but that's all up to you. But it should be a 50 length to get the current trend of it. So the price is underneath the 50 EMA there. So we are currently in a downtrend. So we are only looking for short positions. That's purely where we are using the EMA for. And the ATR bands, it should be on 14 the period, and the multiplier should be, or the factor should be on 2 of both the lower and the upper band. And the ATR is purely for our stop loss. So when we would, as example, take a short position right there, then we would place our stop loss on the ATR. And the ATR is just a small margin what we want to use. So we have a bit of a margin before our stop loss is hit, and that's always what you need because you don't want to be hunted for your stop loss. And so when there is a short signal, we had one today right here on the 1 minute chart. The price is going underneath the 50 EMA, and right after the price drops here underneath the 80 level, there is what we have a short signal. So that's gonna be after this candle close. You move the stop loss on the ATR and you do it 1 times 1.5. You have to believe me, I didn't check it yet, but the first one would have been a nice hit, so that's great. I'm just gonna show you a few ones so you know how this strategy works, and you will have to avoid some stuff. It's really nice when you are in a uptrend and in a downtrend, but when the EMA is going sideways a little bit, then you have like a period when there's not much going on. So it's nicer if the EMA is going like this, that you have a strong trend and it's not going sideways, because that is a position where I like to avoid, because yeah, you can't really tell what is going on, and it will hit your stop loss a lot of times. Like this is worse than trading here. Trading here is nicer. This is really nice. This is, for me, it's sideways, and that's way harder to trade. But you will have to figure it out for yourself, what you like the most. But I'm gonna take every entry, just so you can purely focus on the indicator, and we are not looking at the chart overall. We can do that later with live scalping or stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna backtest this 100 times, but first let me show you a few examples. So I'm always playing in replay mode. I think that is the most fair way to do a backtest and not just look right into the chart in the history, because for me that's not really backtesting. So for me it takes a bit more time to do all the trades, but it's fine for me. So this is one example. The price goes underneath the 50 EMA and the blue line. Can I make it a bit more clear? Like that. The blue line is above the 80 level, so when it crosses underneath the 80 level, then we have a short position, short signal actually. So when does it close underneath it? Right there. So this would be a short position for us, and our stop loss should be on the current ATR, and we do it times 1.5, like that. And let's see how it plays out. So it hit right there nicely. That is where we take our profit. When the line goes underneath the 20 level right here, and we are in a short position, but it crosses above the line again, then we should stop our trade. Even if it's in a profit or when we are currently having a loss, the trade is going against you. So that is a point where we will take our profit or loss. So it's not only here, but you have to keep in mind when it crosses one of these lines again, against your trade, get out of it. That is how I'm going to scalp at least. So yeah, let me show you one long entry. So right here we are crossing above the 50 EMA. And for me it's almost crossed there. Let's look one more. For me now it's really clear, so I would take a long position right there, stop loss on the ATR, and we do that times 1.5. Times 1.5. Like that. So if we will play this one out. Look, we are now crossed above the 80 level. That's still fine. We only get out when it goes underneath it again. But it doesn't, so we did hit our target point, which is great. On this scalp, it would have been 0.67%, which is pretty high for the 1 minute chart. You can always fill that up with leverage, but it's depending on which exchange you use. We use BYBIT. There you can easily do that. If you want to use BYBIT, there's a link down in the description below. You can fill up with leverage, so you can always take a loss of 3% as example. So if you have a 0.5 stop loss percentage and you take a leverage of 6, so you do 6 times 0.5%, you will end up with 3%. So if you use 6 leverage, your stop loss will be 3%. So yeah, that's normally how I trade. I just fill it up with leverage. That's why I use leverage. I don't always use, like, by default 20 leverage. In my opinion, it's a bit sketchy to trade like that. But yeah, I always want to lose the same amount, and I always want to win the same amount, so I can check if I have a decent profit or not. So I don't want to have one trade where I can earn $100 and the next trade I can only earn $20. I just always want to earn $100 and I want to lose, as example, $60. So yeah, that's how I trade. I would recommend trading like that, but you be you, do what you like. But that's why I trade with BYBIT, because you can use leverage. But yeah, that's enough talking. I just like to learn people new stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna do 100 backtests right now, and I'll jump back with you with results. I think the replay of the backtest is gonna be pretty small, because the video is quite long already. So yeah. So after doing 100 trades in only 4 days on the 1 minute chart, we had a win percentage of 49%. With a gain on account without leverage, it would be 0.5%. But if we filled up the stop loss to 1%, we would have had a gain on account of 27.5%, which is really great in 4 days, just saying. I just added this extra column, so I'm going to calculate the other ones after this video. But yeah, this is for a 1 minute chart scalping. I really like it. It's not bad. Of course it's not as good as the YouTuber said, but it's probably a bit of clickbait, and it is depending on which time frame you are trading. But yeah, it's not bad at all. But of course, when I trade the next month with this strategy, it could be the win rate of 60%, and the next time it could be 40%. But do your own backtesting before you start using it. It's really recommended to do that. But yeah, I like the idea of the strategy. I think it can be improved a little bit. Maybe adding a second EMA, like the 200 EMA, that would help a lot, in my opinion. And the larger candles, when it crosses the 50 EMA, the other YouTubers said it as well. If you can, just ignore them. Don't take the entry then. It should be like a normal flow and not a big ass candle who is 5 times larger than the previous candle, because that is really hard to trade that way, because it goes back almost every time and you will get stopped out. Just skip these trades. You will get enough trades on the 1 minute chart, you can believe me in that. So yeah, only take the trades where you are really confident that you are in the upper hand of taking the trades with a profit. But yeah, good strategy. I like it. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day. Cheers.